Hey everyone, Marian here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video for you guys all about what to expect when attending a Jewish wedding. So I get a lot of questions from my friends who aren't Jewish when they're attending their first Jewish weddings about like, what's it gonna be like and what to expect when they get there and what like the guest experience is really like. So that's why I wanted to make this video and just share that kind of information with you guys. If anyone watching this has any more questions, definitely feel free to let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. So I personally love weddings, and to prove it to you guys, I wanted to show you this. So every wedding that I've been to, I've saved the invitation for and put it in this little like scrapbook thing. So I'll start with just my own, but you know, printables from the wedding, I save them all and I just love it. So I think I've been to like, I don't know, almost between 50 and 100 weddings, and the most of those have been Jewish weddings. So I would say I'm a bit of an expert on this topic. And I got married a few years ago and I had a Jewish wedding, so I'll put in lots of footage from my wedding to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So I wanted to talk you guys through the guest experience, so I'll just start at the beginning. So one thing you should know is that all of this information is really depending on how religious the couple is. So if they're a Jewish couple that keeps kosher, keeps Shabbat, then they're going to do a lot more of these things, and you'll really notice more of a difference. But what's supposed to happen is the groom will try to like make a speech and the men around him just interrupt him with like lots of songs and celebrations. It's very like energetic, and the men are like super pumped up and singing and dancing and that kind of stuff. And they'll offer him a marriage advice. And yeah, I have not been to too many tishes, again, because they're for the men, but I definitely know they're super fun and the guys love it. Then the women have what's called a bedekin, which is a little more toned down, but basically the bride sits in a chair and the women in the family and her friends will just come up to her and give her well wishes. And because it's like a very holy, special day for her, she can actually give guests a blessing. So you might see that sometimes where like people will ask her for like good luck finding their husband or good luck getting pregnant or just different things that, you know, women wish for, or a good career. So anyways, so the bedekin and tish take place, and then they bring the groom to the bedekin, and that's where they will actually sign the ketubah. And the rabbi will give it to the bride and the groom, and they'll hold it and they'll sign it, and there's a witness to the signing. And yeah, so that's where the two like bedekin and tish ceremonies kind of come together, and then the guests go into the room where the actual ceremony takes place. So that's my dog. Then the wedding ceremony. So a couple different things that are different here. One, it usually starts late. I've noticed with all my Christian friends, they start right on time. Jewish weddings tend to drag, and that's because they're doing this like ketubah signing and all this other stuff beforehand. So yeah. The second thing is often the bride and groom won't see each other until just before the wedding. So that's something special is they might not do a first look. They might see each other for the first time at the ketubah signing or when they're coming down the aisle. So yeah, just some like different aspects like that. But the first thing you might notice that's really different is the way they walk down the aisle. So the groom will usually walk down first with his parents, and the bride will walk last with her parents, and then traditionally, she will circle the groom 7 times, and then they'll walk up to the chuppah, which is like the canopy where they actually get married together. So couples do this differently. Sometimes the man will circle the woman 3 times, and she'll circle him another 3 times, and they'll circle once together. But generally, there's 7 circles that happen. The only thing as a guest you might experience differently is that the ceremony can be a little longer than you're used to, because there's a lot of like components that need to take place. They'll drink from a kiddush cup. There's a bunch of prayers they have to say. The rabbi will often read the ketubah, which is pretty long, and there's 7 blessings that have to be said. And so yeah, that part can take a little while. Generally, they're not too long, but I found them to be longer than a non-religious wedding. Okay, then for the vows, this is also something that's different. In religious Jewish weddings, you will not hear the I do mentioned. There's a different phrase that's said from the bride to the groom. Either they'll say, I am my beloved and my beloved is mine, or they may take more religious vows, but generally you won't hear the I do thing.
Consecrated to me as my wife.
Marian, do you take Andrew to be your husband according to the laws and the traditions of Moses and Israel, to love and honor and cherish him?
Yes.
Place this ring on his right forefinger.
Harayata.
Mikudash li.
Akudash li.
B'tabat zo.
Etabat zo.
Kedat.
Kedat.
Moshe.
Moshe.
V'Yisrael.
V'Yisrael.
By this ring,
By this ring,
you are consecrated to me
you are consecrated to me
as my husband.
as my husband.
And together,
Then the best part of the Jewish wedding, in my opinion, is the breaking of the glass. So once they've exchanged rings, they're married, the rabbi will put a glass, like it's usually like a globe kind of thing. Some people use a light bulb, you can use whatever, on the ground, and the groom will smash it. Everyone will yell Mazel Tov, they'll kiss, they'll walk down the aisle, they'll be happily married. Yeah, the smashing of the glass is very exciting, and it tells you that the party's about to happen. But it does have a lot of symbolic meaning. It's about how like we live in a shattered world and it's our job to repair it together, and there's all this like beautiful significance, but it's also just really fun. Then once you get to the party, generally again very similar to a Christian wedding, the only thing that's really different is you'll probably see some Jewish dancing. It usually happens at the beginning, and it's called the Hora, and it's the best. So the Hora is a circle dance, and there's no particular like steps you need to learn or anything like that, but it is a crowd pleaser because anyone can do it. You just join hands and go around a circle. That's it. There are like more advanced Jewish dancing that does occur, but generally the Hora is just people dance around in a circle. And they'll form multiple circles so everyone can fit on the dance floor, but it is a mitzvah in Jewish tradition to dance at a wedding. So this is the way we fulfill that mitzvah. We get everyone on the dance floor and dancing. So do not be shy. Everyone wants you, no matter what religion you are, to come dance on the dance floor with them. Like I said, it's just a huge mitzvah to take part in and to join the bride and groom in their joy and their simcha. So if you see a Hora happening, get on that dance floor and dance. And then in the Hora, the really fun part that often happens is they'll bring 2 chairs into the center and they'll lift the bride and groom up. So if you are a strong person, then everyone will appreciate your help lifting the chairs, because often it's not the bride and groom that are that heavy, but it's the chair and the dress. Oh my gosh, the bride's dress is always a million pounds. So it takes a lot of men to hoist her up, and then they kind of like go like this and dance around, and it's fun. Often you'll see the bride and groom take like a handkerchief or a napkin, and they'll sort of like hold it together when they're in the air. Yeah, there's awesome like photos, and it's just a cool experience. If you've ever been lifted up in a chair with all your friends dancing around you, it's memorable. So yeah, and that's basically it. Only other thing you might see in the party is maybe a few prayers. They might say the prayer for the challah when they cut the challah before the meal. They might say a prayer after the meal called the grace after meals, but generally that's more religious couples that do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Jewish weddings are super fun. There's usually a ton of food, like a lot of food, and they're just very happy, welcoming, joyous events. So if you guys are attending any Jewish weddings this summer, let me know. If you have any more questions I can answer, let me know. I'll do my best to do that. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more. I'll see you next time. Bye!